The iRod's rule language supports the common data types used in programming. Within a policy, multiple types of information are manipulated. A rule may use a string to define a storage location, or use an integer as a counter in a loop, or use a double floating point variable to sum data sizes, or use a Boolean variable in a conditional test, or issue a query on the metadata catalog. The rule engine tracks each of these variable types and checks for consistent use. The rule engine uses dynamic typing. The first time a variable is initialized, the type of data loaded into the variable determines its data type. Thus, if you initialize a workflow variable with an integer, the variable is always treated as an integer through the rest of the rule. If you want to change the variable type, you will need to apply a transformation to the variable and store the result in a new workflow variable. Consider this example. Star A equal 1. This sets the workflow variable star A to an integer. To generate a string that contains the number 1, you can apply the str transformation, star B equals str of star A. The workflow variable star B will contain a string whose value is 1. All strings in the iRod's rule language are specified using either double or single quotes. Note that Microsoft uses smart or curly quotes. If you use a Microsoft tool to create a rule, you will need to convert all of the quotes in the rule to straight quotes. It is safer to use a Unix or Mac tool which use straight quotes as the default. An example of a string is the text enclosed by a pair of double quotes or a pair of single quotes. Strings can be converted to integers. Thus, star n equal 5 in single quotes, star v equal int of star n converts the string star n into an integer stored in star v. Strings can be added, their length can be found, a substring can be extracted, and they can be split. The operations are shown here. Two strings are created, workflow variables star s and star t. We can concatenate them with the operation plus plus. The length is found with the function strlen. The substring is found with the function substr, and the string is split using the function split. Star r in this example is composed by adding together star s and star t. The length of star n is found equal to 7. The substring is extracted from star s, where you start counting at 0, and the string can be split into a list. Integers are used as loop indices in algebraic equations and as counters. An integer is specified as a number that does not have a decimal point. Numbers specified with a decimal point are floating point numbers. The conversion of integers and floating point numbers is shown here. The integer star I is converted to a string with the function str and is converted to a floating point number with this function double. The floating point number star r is converted to an integer with the function int and is converted to a string with the function str. Integers and floating point variables can be manipulated with mathematical functions. You can add two numbers together with the operator plus, multiply two numbers with the operator star, and divide two numbers with the operator slash. Note that the asterisk is also used to denote the start of a workflow variable. To multiply two numbers, the multiplication symbol needs to stand alone without any trailing alphabetic characters. The standard algebraic operations can also be applied. Exponentiation is done with either caret or exp. You can apply logarithms, log, take the absolute value, abs, generate the largest integer less than the value, floor, generate the smallest integer greater than the value, ceiling, calculate the average of a list, average, calculate the maximum value in a list, max, and calculate the minimum value in a list, min. Boolean variables can be used to save the result of a conditional test. A Boolean variable has either the value true or false. The operations performed upon Boolean variables include and, star A and star B is true if star A is true and star B is true, or star A or star B is true if either star A is true or star B is true, or star A or star B is true, in this case using the operator 2% signs, Not exclamation point star A is true if star A is false. Take 7 minutes to answer exercise 39. Create a policy to add two numbers and write out the results. Use input variables to define the numbers. Public examples are available in LifeLive Zone Home RWMore Rules test-ruleadd.r. Please load your rule file into the lifetime library in the sub-collection class INLS 624 by the end of today's class.